Today, Yehuda Shaul, the former soldier in Hebron, informs journalists, diplomats and others about the situation in Hebron.
If someone is willing to listen, if someone is willing to see reality, I don't have the right not to take him there. The reason why I wake up in the morning and I go to sleep at night, and then the next morning I wake up and still do what I do, is because I don't have another option. Because if I'm not part of a solution, I'm part of the problem.
First, the American media, I always say that it's quite sad because the US media is basically completely irrelevant for the conflict in the Middle East, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, since the American media is more pro-Israeli than the Israeli media. The Israeli media, in some places, is very, very good. If you really want to know about the occupation and the settlements and all this, you should read the Israeli media, like the Haaretz and certain TV programs. So, the American media, it's like that. When it comes to Swedish television is a public service broadcaster, and they show a great variety of documentaries. So for them to fund a film like this, it's nothing controversial, and it's also the film. For me, it has to do with this false idea that you have to be like pro-Israeli or pro-Palestinian, which I think it's a total misconception. Because my film, Israel versus Israel, I think I managed to convey that message that, like, if you want to be pro-Israeli, what does that mean? What are you supporting? So I think that's, it's completely non-problematic for, Swedish national television to be involved in this kind of production. Thank God. Because again, I feel really sorry for Americans, because when you look at the media and how the reporting is, it's pathetic, unfortunately. But on the other hand, this film is actually about hope. I seriously believe that the situation in the Middle East will get much worse. But on the other hand, it's very important not to stay ignorant or be cynical about it, because these four activists create hope. It is for me, something really good coming out of Israel, that they have these people actively standing up for the Palestinians against the occupation. So even, the media is bad, especially in America, but I think now you can see that people are starting to wake up. Like the peace groups, the activists are much better organized. It's quite easy now to, at the different universities, for example, to find people that have been to the Middle East. It's very easy to be pessimistic about the media and the reporting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but I think that this alternative, independent media is growing stronger and stronger, and it's getting better and better. I still think they could do much better, because I know many of these activists in Jerusalem, and many of them are my friends, for example. But I still believe they could do much better to reach out, because again, people really want to know about the conflict. All over the world, in America, in Europe, for sure people want to know about the conflict. It's a very important topic, to stay informed about. So I think there is this space, definitely on reporting and news and documentaries, books about the conflict. There is this space to kind of conquer for alternative voices. And I don't even consider my film to be alternative, by the way. There's nothing that extreme there's nothing extreme in the film. All these characters have been on Israeli television. They've been interviewed in Israeli media many, many times. So it's not some kind of, extremist or radical element in that sense. There's nothing unique. I'm not the first person to interview Jonathan Polak, for example, or Yehuda Shaul. So.